POV. You're getting ready to settle for the day's work, but you're suddenly feeling a little bit watched and you spot something in the background. A sweet little critter. Hey beautiful souls, welcome to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local lightworker. Welcome to a pick-a-card reading that was inspired by your requests. So you were DMing me, sending me emails, asking me to do another check-in update for those of you who are really passionate about knowing who your future spouse, life partner could be. So I thought, okay, I'm going to oblige and I'll create this reading for you. I randomly pulled some oracle cards from this gorgeous Sherwood Oracle, which was kindly sent as a gift to me from my Tarot and Amazon wish list for Christmas. So thank you kindly to the person who donated it to my channel. I'm going to take a sip from my coffee. It's still morning where I am, and I'm not at all a morning person, but I woke up excited to create this reading for you. Let me show you the options. So I just want to say right before I show you the options, your life partner doesn't necessarily have to be the gender that is shown on these cards. These are symbolic figures from Irish folklore, and they represent an energy, a vibe, a specific type of personality. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about each of these characters and what they symbolically represent at your specific choice. But just keep that in mind, they don't all have to be male, even though we have an abundance of masculine energy here as options for you. Okay, that disclaimer to the side. Here for you, group 1, we have this jolly fellow, Alan Adale, number 8, or you could just go by the image of a man holding a musical instrument. Now for you, group 2, we have Little John, and if you are familiar with the story of Robin Hood, actually the Sherwood Oracle is heavily inspired by Robin Hood lore. So that's for you, group 2, number 3, and Little John. For you, group 4, this is a character that appeared in a reading I did for myself yesterday, and I really grew fond of him. Number 13, David of Doncaster. Yeah. So that's your specific choice, group 3. And for you, group 4, we saved the best for last. If you want to see it like that, we have King John. Although in the story of Robin Hood, King John was a little bit of an evil guy, right? But it doesn't mean that your future spouse has to be evil. There is, well, I'm going to get into the specifics at your group, but there may be a certain kind of ruthlessly competitive side to your character. Anyway, don't let that influence your choice. I'm going way ahead with the interpretation. I'm trying not to influence you guys. Let's give you the full view again so you can have a look at them. Let me take my cup so you have enough light. Okay, so King John for group 4, David of Doncaster for group 3, Little John for group 2, and Alan Adale for group 1. Now, I am going to live shuffle today from the Spirit Song Tarot. I have it over here, protected by Rose Opal energy. And behind these foregrounded cards, I have a couple of pre-shuffled oracle cards to give me some nuance to the reading. You guys know that I do a combination of pre-shuffled cards and live shuffled tarot cards because I like to cut back from the time that would normally be needed for such an in-depth reading. Also, because I know your time is precious, and also because I've been seeing the statistics and most of you skip around, I think, the 5 or 6 minute mark. Anyway, for those of you who decide to hang out with me and who decide to listen to the entirety of the reading, thank you kindly. I do feel incredibly grateful that you guys are here by my side. I'm still trying to wake up, but I am incredibly grateful. I feel blessed. I hope that you guys feel blessed and protected. And if not, then I hope that coming to my channel and clicking on my readings is giving you a measure of comfort and inspiration and relaxation. This is the energy with which I create these readings, and I hope this helps. So without further ado, Let's jump in and find out the details of your future life partner or spouse. Hey group 1, welcome to your pick a card reading. Let's find out the details of your future spouse or life partner. So this is the reading for those of you who are drawn to Alana Dale. We have here the prototype of an artistic lover, a soulmate that is spiritual and refined, somebody who could be a little bit dual, because the story of Alana Dale was that when he met Robin Hood in the forest, when Robin Hood first encountered him, he was happy, and then after a while he met him again and he was sad, and Alana Dale was supposed to marry his sweetheart, but the family of that sweetheart decided that they wanted to marry her to somebody who was richer than he was. So there were a lot of kind of like disappointments, like moments of happiness followed by disappointment, a very black and white kind of energy. And I'm also drawn to the fact that we have here number 8, and number 8 is the 8th house in astrology, the house ruled by Scorpio, a Pluto house. It's normally considered to be the most hidden house of the zodiac because it sits in a weird angle from the ascendant, and the ascendant is the brightest, most visible part of the zodiac. So the 8th house is the house of trusting the unknown, dealing with the mysterious, occult things that help us heal from the depths of our unconscious. And we sometimes heal by talking to other people, but also by playing music, by singing, by listening to music. You know that feeling when sometimes you're so sad, you just start singing? I don't know if that ever happened to you. It happens to me quite often because I am Piscean, and I find it hard to put my feelings into words, but music always gets me to express myself in a variety of ways. So I see very clearly that you are drawn to an artistic lover, a compassionate individual, somebody who is deep, who understands the darker undercurrents of a person's life. So your future partner could be somebody who plays an instrument, could be somebody who's interested in human psychology, somebody who loves investigating things, true crime, could be something that they really love. They may work as a psychologist, as a therapist. I'm getting here, they could be like chiropractitioner, for example. They help people's bones and movements and bodies. Sports trainer or sports therapy. They could be doing medical sports. Like, that is a thing, right? Medical sports therapy or something of that nature. I'm just saying whatever comes through. They could actually be a doctor, like they could work with people. They could be a pediatrician or an individual that heals people in some way. They may be doing it with their knowledge, with the acquired training that they had as a doctor, or they could be doing it more intuitively through music, through spirituality. Definitely a healer, definitely an individual that is very focused on kind of putting together clues and pieces to try to make an individual whole. Okay, but definitely I feel like you're dealing here with an individual that's also kind of like trying to make sense of an internal conflict, and when they meet you, that's when the final piece in their love puzzle gets complete. Yeah, so that's really interesting. Let's see right now what the tarot has to say. I have here the Spirit Song Tarot. I'm going to give it a shuffle for you. Okay, so we have here the Emperor, focus and stability. You're dealing here with somebody focused. Sorry, I had to expel some air. Somebody stable, financially well off. Like by the time you meet this person, they will have a savings account. They may be on the brink of purchasing a home, or they already have purchased a home and they're paying mortgage. This is an individual that has plenty and has worked hard to achieve this position of stability and material comfort in their lives. This could be somebody slightly older than you, or at least they come across as being an old soul, somebody with a lot of experience. I also see here the Traveler, adventure and potential. So in spite of the fact that this person is quite stable materially, they are not at all boring. Like they are not this kind of person who just goes to sleep at weekends. Although there's nothing wrong with that, you know, especially if you have to save up money. Sometimes you just stay in at weekends. I know that. I've been doing that my whole life. But this individual likes to go on trips. They may have a passion for an extreme sport, like maybe they like motorcycle riding in their free time, or they go bungee jumping, or they go ice climbing, or deep sea diving. It's like they need to do a high intensity sport in their free time. And I think that through that, you will learn a lot from your spouse about how to overcome fears. Because if you're this kind of person who's like, ooh, no, thank you very much. Instead of going bungee jumping for my birthday, I'd rather just sit on a chair and drink champagne. Your spouse is going to help you understand that there's nothing for you to fear, that it's okay to kind of like jump into the unknown and let loose and try something risky from time to time. So your spouse is going to help you overcome certain limits that you have in your life that are shrouded in fear. And by facing these fears, your spouse is going to help you grow and develop and make the world a safer place, yeah? For yourself and for them. We have here such powerful contrast. You see, we have solar energy, and then we have, I think this is a representation of a cheetah, or I don't think it's a puma, but it's a feline, and felines normally enjoy spots that are a little bit more like secluded, where they can hide, where they can rest. So we have here an individual that can be quite extroverted one moment and like very people oriented, and then they like to have some quiet time, so some downtime, some time for themselves. This is a person who will allow you as well to have your own space and quiet time. Although they can be quite passionate and loving, this is not a person who's going to obsessively keep tabs on you and try to control you. We have here number 13, transformation. So transition and liberation. Again, we have with the traveler, this to me is Aquarius energy. We have the Emperor, Aries energy, and we have the transformation card. I think this is a firefly. Yeah. And the transformation card is representative of Scorpio energy. So your person could have any of these astrological sun signs in their birth chart, Aquarius, Aries, and Scorpio. These are quite rebellious energies, right? Ruled by Mars and Uranus. You're dealing here with a very rebellious person who organizes their own schedule. They could be self-employed. They're very much of a daredevil. They want to be the hero or the heroine of the day, yeah? Let's see the oracle cards, because I'm really curious. So we have here Tranquility, Pisces, Violet. We also have here, this person could look really good in dark purple, yeah? We have here Midheaven, the Pinnacle, and number 36. You could meet this person when you are 36 years old, or this person could be 36 years old when you meet them. I also see the number 43. So maybe you meet this person when you are 36 and they are 43, or vice versa. I also see here Dream, yeah? So I like this because the oracle cards are showing me a more softer, imaginative side, this side that wants to build castles in the sky, this idealistic energy that your future partner is going to have. I definitely see that this person is very much oriented on career. They really enjoy working. They enjoy being a helpful individual, a person that contributes to society in some way. So they don't just like to work and get an income. They like to work with a purpose, like almost like a higher power guiding them. They like to save lives, you know, they like to contribute and truly make an impact. Okay, this person is not satisfied just with having a 9-to-5 and earning a living so that they can just, you know, provide for their family. This person can have a lot of friends in high places. They may know a lot of powerful people. They could collaborate with international individuals from, like, in a way from, I would say, first world countries, rich countries. The midheaven here shows relationships based on not only business skills and things that you guys have in common from a professional point of view, but this is about joining forces together with people that have material stability, that can invest financially in your dreams and in your projects. It's a house, like the midheaven is right at the top of the chart, and it is often found either in the 10th house or the 9th house in individuals' charts. And both the 10th house and the 9th house are houses of wealth, but in a different way. Like the 10th house is ruled by Saturn, so that's your professional legacy, the outcome of all the effort you put into building an image, building a brand, building a career. While the 9th house is about wealth. It's about wealth that you manifest through your philosophy. The way in which you think affects the people that you surround yourself with, the places where you live, the things that you decide to put energy in. So it's about a life philosophy that manifests abundance in your reality. Yeah. So I see very strongly that this person has this big picture thinking, is focused on the career. They may not be such a homey person, so that could be the downside. They could travel a lot for work. They could be in front of the public, performing, holding presentations, striking deals, negotiating a lot of things. So they may not actually be in the home quite often, or as often as you would like them to. This is not an individual that would work from home or would gladly take on the role of a primary caregiver. So if you guys have children, I think that the responsibility of being close to the children and raising them and being there for them on a daily basis would most likely fall on your shoulders, while this person will be just very focused on providing, protecting from afar. I do apologize, I don't know what's going on, but in your reading my mouth gets flooded with a lot of saliva, so I feel the need to constantly keep swallowing, but I don't know why. What's going on? Are you eating? Are you drinking something sour or chewing something sour? Because this is really weird and it's uncomfortable to the point where I actually have to bring it out. I'm sorry if it's TMI, but maybe it's something significant that I really need to pinpoint right now. Give me a second. I need to drink from my spooky coffee cup. I think your person is going to have a really interesting, first of all, they may look at you and think that you're delicious, like they're drooling, that they want you so much. But I think your person is going to have some really interesting quips. Like one thing I share in common with my father, when we drink our coffee, we always hit the ceramic cup to the enamel of the teeth. It's always making that clink sound because we have such large front teeth. So that's something quite cute. That makes me feel closer to my father. That kind of makes me feel, yeah, we're related. I can definitely see we're related. We have the same weird thing, that we do. And your person could have this. Maybe they have buck teeth or a cleft palate, or there's something here about their mouth that is a little bit, it's kind of it's fascinating because they will have a feature of their body, of their face especially, that is not perfect. And it will fascinate you and you'll become slightly obsessed with it. And it's going to be their defining feature. I don't know, for example, how Bruce Willis had that charm because he had a weird way of smiling, one part of his mouth was going down and the other one going up. And that kind of made him quite watchable on the big picture screen. That's just one example that popped into my mind because when I was little, I saw the entire Die Hard series. I grew up with it. So yeah, Bruce Willis was a staple in my childhood. But it can be any kind of thing. I don't know. I'm thinking of Joaquin Phoenix, for example, that he has that cleft palate thing. And it's actually kind of a defining feature that kind of worked in his favor in his career because he plays these characters that have these kind of interesting personalities, and you kind of become obsessed with parts of the things that he emphasizes in the performances, if that makes sense. So that's why overall I kind of find it sad that a lot of people try to go for plastic surgeries and to improve themselves, to perfect themselves. While I understand why they do that, and it's not for me to judge anyone, it's kind of sad. I just feel it's sad because people are losing the things that make them so unique and adorable, and that your lover may become obsessed with, you know? So give it time. Even if people criticize you, even if people tell you that a part of your body or your face is weird or crooked, give it time, because it may end up becoming your defining characteristic, you know? You could inspire other people to accept themselves because you stood by your body, you defended your body, you did not change it, you know? It's an act of rebellion against the norm, and it's an act of resistance against conformity. And I think I'm going on this powerful tirade because I think your person is going to have some very strong values, and they will have some very strong political and religious values, and they will actually talk to anybody that is willing to listen about these values. So your life partner could be involved in some sort of charitable work. Maybe they are donating some funds towards stopping wars, maybe to protect minority groups in society, to try to educate people against, you know, not excluding people based on certain characteristics like disabilities, or if they are sick with something, you know. I feel that you're dealing here with a very passionate, educated, refined individual that has a good, kind heart, a person that can serenade you one moment and then go out into the world and present in front of UNICEF, you know, the importance of why we should keep protecting children, you know, or rescue them from war zones or something of that nature. It's like really interesting combination of both heart and intimacy, but also thinking about humanity and the greater good of all. Yeah. And definitely, so if this person has these astrological sun signs in their chart, so if they have Aquarius and if they have Scorpio and Aries energy, they are definitely a fighter. This is a survivor, a person who made a name for themselves all by themselves. You know, they started from little and they went all the way up. They climbed the pinnacle of their profession, of their career. Yeah. And I think that they did it by being filled with integrity. I don't see here somebody who is like made a fortune by scamming or by joining weird individuals, you know, by joining a weird cult or a lewd group. Your person will also really enjoy relaxing with you. Like after they are done fighting with the world, they come home and all they want to do is snuggle with you, you know. They want to have really nice romantic nights with you where there is good music and good food, and you guys just talk to each other. I feel like your partner may ask you to tell them your dreams, or you guys may have like a secret intimacy code. Like from time to time, your person would be like, tell me a fantasy of yours, you know, or what have you been daydreaming about lately, you know, or what did you dream last night, you know, let me know. There will be like this kind of like daily ritual that you guys will have just to check in with each other, even if you have to work apart from one another, even if this person may have to travel for work. I feel like you will have a daily ritual that kind of keeps you intimately connected, you know, even if you cannot be physically close to each other. But yeah, that is what I see for you, group one. I really hope this reading helped. In terms of the physical characteristics, I didn't focus so much, but your person could have some facial features that resemble Alan Adale. Yeah. So they could be tall, blonde, blue eyes, green eyes, have a very significant like laughter line, as you can see in this image. They could look really good in boho chic, artistic clothing. Yeah, definitely. I see this individual being a little bit of a rule breaker, you know? Okay. That was a very quick physical description, but that's not so important. The important thing is that you meet somebody that makes you feel good, that you feel relaxed, that you feel yourself next to you, that you constantly want to check in with and, you know, talk to and share your life with. That's the important aspect, and that's what we should prioritize. The physical aspects, you know, as I said, some people may find your person ugly. You may find them incredibly sexy. It's all in the eye of the beholder. And I know that we live in such a superficial society that tells you that, no, looks really matter. And maybe they do on a certain level to impress strangers or to get a foot in the doorway of a job interview. But in terms of settling down with a person long term, in terms of building a life with an individual, you will find that it takes many more qualities that have nothing to do with how a person's looks in order to hold and maintain that relationship. Okay, lecture over. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to get in touch with me for a personal private reading, I do offer those. Links down below in the description box and in the comment section. And I cannot wait to see my next one. Mwah. Take care and happy manifesting. Okay, the camera started recording even without my knowledge. It has a motion sensitivity sensor. So hi, group 2, welcome to your pick a card tarot reading. Today we're going to find out the details of your future spouse, your life partner, and this is a reading for those of you who are drawn to Little John. Okay, so in the lore of Robin Hood, Little John was a trusted fellow. He was a symbol of strength and stability. He was not only physically strong and not at all little, I mean, his name was a contradiction, obviously, but he was also inwardly strong. And what made him so inwardly strong is that he believed in supporting his friends. He was there, he was present, he was 100% involved in a situation. And I think that these are already the character traits of your future spouse. These are the core aspects of his personality or her personality. So I see here an individual that is strong, reliable, loyal, group-oriented, family-oriented. Like, this is a person who prioritizes the well-being of the group. This is somebody who on some level is quite altruistic and selfless. It's like, I put your needs before my own, yeah? A protector. You're dealing here with a bit of a bear spirit personality, you know? When I was shuffling these cards and I saw this drop to the table, I kind of felt like, oh gosh, this this image, this vibe kind of makes me think of, you know, the actor Tom Burke, who plays in the J.K. Rowling series Cormoran Strike, right? So that's the kind of vibe. A person who is obviously deeply flawed, but at the same time adorable and lovable. Like, you really can't help but like him, even though you can see that, yeah, indeed, like, he's not a perfect individual. This is somebody who doesn't make you feel intimidated with his knowledge or his looks. This is somebody that the moment you meet and strike the hand, you feel like, oh, this is a person I can trust. This is a reliable individual. This person is not going to screw me over, right? So I feel like your person could work in a profession that has to deal with gaining people's trust. They could work, for example, for a bank, in real estates, right? Selling and purchasing houses or properties. They're just like a person that you go to if you need some sort of advice. Like, they could be a coach, a mentor, a teacher, an administrator, somebody that gets the job done. Like, you call this person and something gets repaired. You call this person and you get great advice. You call this person and they find you a home. I feel like this person has good karma because of the fact that they're so kind. I feel that they may have been raised by a single parent, either a single mother or a single father. I feel like church was really important in their upbringing, not necessarily as a place that they are super obsessed with and super devoted to, but like a place where they went to socialize, to feel safe, you know, a place that gave them a sort of routine that they really feel close to. I feel like this person still is on very good terms with their childhood friends, with the friends that they made in kindergarten or primary school. I feel like they have a buddy or two that they've known for a very long period of time and they've helped through thick and thin. And you're going to see that these qualities will be reflected in the relationship that you will have with your spouse. Really loving individual. I already like them, you know. A very likable person, very likable, very heartfelt, you know. So now let's see what's going on here with the tarot. What does the tarot want to add in terms of this person's character? Yeah, okay. So we have here 5 of Feathers, strategy and resilience. Yeah, I'm reminded of the mythological image of Hephaestus, who was the god of crafting and skills. He used to work in a volcano furnace and he used to craft, for example, Athena's shield and Mercury's winged boots and Diana or Artemis's bow and arrow. So he was the kind of like the craftsperson, the goldsmith to the gods. And he was kind of looked down upon because apparently he was a little bit of a hunchback, and he had problems with a foot that he kept dragging behind him. So physically he wasn't necessarily like, wow, the most handsome, astounding god of gods. But without him, the gods wouldn't be able to do their job, right? So Athena couldn't protect herself during moments when she intervened in wars, and she was frequently summoned by characters such as the hero Achilles to intervene in the war and to help him out. Diana Artemis couldn't hunt and protect her animals, right? So think about all of the important aspects of needing to have certain tools to get the job done, to protect yourself or to earn an income, or to basically exist in the world, to protect others, to defend yourself. So a very essential trait of this person's energy is going to be how dependable they are, how reliable they are. Even if you decide to partner up with them and then you decide to separate from this person a couple of years down the line, you're still going to call them, you're still going to get in touch with them because I just feel like this person has this energy of very grounded earth-like energy. So they could have planets and points in Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, most likely Capricorn or Virgo, less likely Taurus. I see here the armadillo, and the armadillo has, or armadillo, I don't know exactly how you pronounce that, but this critter has a very tough, scaly back, even though they're quite soft and cute, and they round themselves into a ball. So I see here an individual that's very soft, sensitive on the inside, but quite burly and strong looking on the outside, right? So kind of like a gentle giant kind of vibe, yeah? We also see here the 10 of shells. Ah, this is beautiful. So we have blessings and well-being. What I said earlier, you know, this person has good karma. They are blessed. I think that they have a very good and strong connection to something higher than themselves. Whether it doesn't matter what god or goddess they choose to worship. This person believes that they create reality with the help of a protector, of a divine force, right? Whether that is Jesus or Allah or Yahweh or Buddha, it doesn't really matter. In this person's cosmology and inner world, they just believe that there's a higher force above me. I am not the greatest man on earth, you know. I have support from the unseen world, and I am forever grateful to that. So there is a certain intrinsic modesty about your future partner, and that's what makes them so blessed, and that's what makes them attract good luck. And we also have here the 4 of acorns, comfort and community. Yeah, and we have the walrus. So as you can see, these animals are not necessarily, and we have a bird here, but they are not necessarily like the most good looking in the animal kingdom. But they are adorable, first of all. And I see here that, especially with this one, with, I forgot how you call it, Cocostârc, I think it's in Romanian. Yeah, I forgot how you call this bird. Please comment down below and let me know. Yeah, it's not barză. No, it's not. Anyway, sorry, I'm just throwing Romanian bird words at the screen, and you may be thinking, what are you saying? I completely understand and empathize. Anyway, let me know down in the comments, what is this? What type of bird this is? It could be that your person enjoys bird watching, or they may like flying. Some of you are getting together with a person who could be a pilot, or an individual that is doing some sort of piloting in their free time, right? They could enjoy traveling by plane, or they may be working towards getting a license to fly a small plane. I see here an individual that is definitely quite attentive to details. They like to plan things. They don't like to leave things to chance. A person who is resilient, who is loved by the community, and is quite comfortable. Sorry, Sorry, my cat was intensively grooming herself because I gave her a collar, and yeah, she's kind of like, stop. There you go. Sorry, I have to intervene from time to time because I don't want her to cause bruises to herself. So yeah, it could be that you may need to help your future spouse, your life partner, to find boundaries, to find limits. I do think that this person's kind of negative trait is the fact that they can get down very quickly. Like they put a lot of effort and energy into creating a comfortable, beautiful life. And when things don't work out, when the children are upset, when you may have an argument with them, or when something is going wrong at work and they cannot solve something, they could really internalize the problem and they could get depressed quite easily. So you're going to have to kind of like help them get out of bed, you know. You may need to limit the intake of food and drinks that this person can ingest, because they could go down a very bottomless vibe, you know, and they may start to eat unconsciously because they're working out some deep feelings that they do not want to express. They do not want to burden people with their feelings, so they may develop these kind of weird unconscious behaviors, and they will need your support to tell them, you know, like, enough, stop. Okay, just like I told my cat. I think that's why this situation happened, and Soul intervened in your reading. Let me show you your oracle cards right now. So we have here water, okay, water sign energy. We have the sun, the source, okay, very charismatic individual. And we have the banana duality, Mercury, yeah. So I definitely see that this person could have an inner duality inside of themselves. They may have been born on a full moon. For example, they are a sun in Pisces, because we see here sun in a water sign, but they have a moon in Virgo, yeah, or vice versa. They are a sun in Virgo with a moon in Pisces. So this makes them a little bit contradictory. Like the way that they come across at work is very different than how they are at home. If they were born on a full moon, it's usually, and you can check that in your birth chart by seeing that the sun is sitting in opposition with the moon in a person's chart. That's how you know that they were born on a full moon. But if they were born on a full moon, this makes them a person that constantly wants to be around people. This is an individual that enjoys talking to other people. They may struggle to be alone. Yeah, they don't like being alone. They don't find sense in that. They're not comfortable. So this individual constantly creates circumstances where they meet new people, or they constantly help other people, or they invite friends over. There are people in their house most of the time, or they want to create a big family so that they can have a lot of like communication around them and the humdrum of daily family life. You know, this person loves that. I see that they're very charismatic. So no matter their weight, their size, no matter their more depressive character traits, people want to help them. People love this person. It's like, even if they're sick, or even if they are having an argument with somebody, the next day people will apologize to them, or they will bring them some pie or something to eat, you know. Like, this is a person who is very lovable. There is just something sticky about them, very adorable. But I think that you will be the one who will mostly see this duality. This person will have like a perfectionistic streak. Like, they want to do their best. They want to be really good at what they do. They don't want to make mistakes, especially at work. And then they have this side of themselves that is a bit more relaxed and dreamy, and maybe even a little bit lazy. And they can get depressed or downcast quite easily. So you kind of need to lift them up by cracking some jokes, or putting some boundaries and letting them know that's enough. You know, you've overeaten right now. Let's keep some for tomorrow. Or, you know, let's go out and get some fresh air. Let's go for a walk. You've been inside the house for too long and it's getting you down, you know. And this is nothing that you should be ashamed or worried about. It's like, I don't want to be this person's rehabilitation center. In a normal, healthy, thriving relationship, you do end up being a certain, or playing a certain role to your partner, just as much as your partner will be playing a certain role to you. So there will be certain responsibilities that you will have to undertake in a long-term committed relationship. If this is what you wish, you need to keep this in mind. So it's not all going to be fun and pleasure and this person like giving you amazing orgasms or being like reliable and being by your side. You also will have to contribute in some way, and sometimes you will have to stick by your partner when they are sick, when they are tired, when they are grumpy, when they are out of sorts. You're going to have to find a way to understand them and work with that energy. And in certain cases, I wouldn't necessarily say put up with it, but find a way to help them become better, just as much as they will help you become better or feel safe or give you the loyalty that you've always craved, right? So, because sometimes I'm only saying this because sometimes in the comments I just get people reacting, like reacting in a triggered way to what I say in these readings. And first of all, a trigger is a great opportunity for you to do some inner work. So I would strongly recommend that you take that trigger and you journal about that trigger for a bit. Freestyle your way into your journal entry, because that's like free therapy and it can tell you a lot about yourself. But at the same time, I feel like you need to understand that relationships are not going to be all airy fairy, magic, beautiful, romantic, gauzes of bubble, If you want a real relationship, if you want to be loved for real, then you're going to have to put up with some bad days. You're going to have to put up with some weirdness. Your partner is not going to be perfect. You're not perfect. Your own shadow needs some acceptance. Your person's shadow will need some acceptance. It's part of the process. It's part of the beauty of life. It's part of why relationships that are long-term are so interesting, and I feel like you're going to figure these things out with your partner, because to be together with this person, you're going to have to see beyond superficial characteristics. Yeah, this person will not be a model. They will not be like this super cool looking, I don't know, K-pop perfection idol. They are going to be a meat and potatoes kind of person, but very solid, very reliable. They're going to be there for you. They're going to love you, I don't think that this person will play any games, because it's just not in their nature. They are not so complicated, It's like they're not going to play you around or screw you over, mostly because they care so much about the community that they live in, and they don't want to step over toes or upset the people in their community. I feel like this person is very much aware that if they treat you poorly, like the person at their local church or their therapist or their doctor or their best friend is gonna kind of like give them a slap over the head and be like, what are you doing? Calm down, This person is very well embedded in their family life, in their community, and that acts as a mood moderator, right? It keeps them grounded, it keeps them modest, it keeps them hardworking. And I really love this about your person. So you're dealing here with a very charismatic individual, and charisma comes from having this kind of inner fire lit within, this kind of like love for life, love for people, a person that is very good at what they do. They're very skilled. This person could be excellent with their hands. Like, for example, they may enjoy baking, they may like sculpting things, or just putting together things. Like, they could be very good with watches as well, with hand-eye coordination can be excellent. This person could be very good at handball, for example, or just at any types of coordinated sports, coordinated activities in general. They could have as a hobby repairing things, like they may enjoy repairing furniture, refurbishing things. Carpentry could be a big thing up on their list of passion projects, So yeah, you're dealing here with a sweetheart that's going to make you very happy. We have the 10 of shells here. So this is about creating a very happy family home. This person may retire early or spend a lot of time taking care of the kids at home. So this could be like an excellent way for you to play an inverted traditional relationship. Like, you could be the provider and they could be the primary caregiver. This person may enjoy working from home, from the community. Yeah, They could maybe rent out property or be an administrator for the local community. So they really don't have to work outside of their home. They may just need to pay visits to the local members of the community to ask them what needs changing, what needs repairing, and they get an income from that, you know. There is just a feeling of being very grounded. This is not an individual that travels for work or is a global trendsetter, technological nomad. No, no, no. You're dealing here with quite the opposite, yeah? Okay, so I'm very mindful of the time. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope this reading helps. If you want to get in touch with me for a specific reading tailored to your own needs, because this is a general reading, as you know, then I have links in the description box and in the description box. Yeah. Steinbock, is that Capricorn in German? I don't know. Words are coming out of my mouth, German words for some reason. So thank you for listening. Links in the comments section and in the box right underneath this video. I'm going to go and take a break right now. Thank you, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. That was so chaotic. Bye. Hey group 3, welcome darlings to your pick a card reading. Let's find out the details of your future life partner, your spouse. So this is for those of you that were drawn to David of Doncaster. He's a very resourceful fellow. I did mention in the introduction that I got this card in one of my personal readings that I did for myself. And I do believe that this is going to be a shared reading. So this is my reading as well as it is yours. You guys know I love to do that, to read for both of us. Already I'm getting a sense of partnership, union. There may be some issues related to codependency. You're going to have to be very careful in this connection where you end and where the other person begins, because I feel that you have a tendency to just be overwhelmingly focused on an individual. But I feel like this is a person who will give you space to find out your own boundaries in this relationship. Like there will be a very good flow of communication between you and this person. David of Doncaster in the Robin Hood lore was a person that would climb up on trees and scout the area and check for potential dangers, triggers, pitfalls, you know, alerting people of the enemy is coming, you know, quickly hide. So I see that your future spouse has this energy of protecting you, giving you clues and hints where you may be not treating yourself correctly or loving yourself poorly, or where you may be a bit too arrogant and thereby missing important opportunities or cutting connections with people in your life. And he's going to tell you these things in a very funny, compassionate way that will help you grow without feeling like you're pressured or criticized, you know? I definitely feel some Geminian energy, some Mercury vibes from this person. You see the feather in his cap. And also, first of all, I need to say that this will be a very physically fit individual, very pleasing on the eye. I know that the last two piles have not been so focused on the physicality, unless pile 2 was about physical strength, the physical strength of the partner. But here I see more of like this person is like a feline, like a jaguar, you know. They're very, I feel like it's like in their nature, because they are quite fidgety, or they were born quite fidgety, and working out, exercise, moving around, being dynamic helps them integrate this energy that they naturally were born with. I see here Gemini and Sagittarius energy very strongly prominent. An individual that may have recovered from a certain wound. It could be that in childhood they may have been suffering from some sort of disease that they had to learn how to cope with and manage. They may have actually suffered from childhood obesity as well. And through exercise, through sports, I'm hearing also through dancing, this person managed to shrug off the weight and feel a bit more mobile, right? I feel that definitely this is an individual that could enjoy acrobatics, athleticism. They may enjoy running, you know. They could love watching the Olympics or the Tour de France, you know. Cycling could be a really important pastime in this person's like free activities. I feel like you will travel quite well with this person. I see the backpack, yeah. So I feel like you may travel with this person, go on hikes, explore nature, have like campfire, romantic nights. I definitely feel like you're having like a buddy, like a partner. Your future partner is going to be like your travel best friend. Okay, now let's see. All that being said, let's see what the Spirit Song Tarot has to say. Seven of Feathers. Okay. So what was I saying? Yeah, we have here the cheetah. So not exactly the jaguar, but they are in some way related. We see here preparation and resourcefulness. This is the kind of person that, let's say you guys are going through a rough patch financially. Out of the blue, they come up with an idea of how you guys can make money and profit and survive, you know. Or let's say you're stuck in the wilderness with this person. You took a wrong turn and you're stuck in the forest and you're like, ugh, nightfall is coming. What are we going to do? This person is going to find a way to start a fire, and they're going to build a tent or find a cave where you guys can safely stay overnight. They are very resourceful. They come up with ideas, you know, solutions to any problem that you face them with. They are very fast as well, fast thinkers, fast talkers, very quick-witted, you know. Very little can actually fly by this person's radar. So it's kind of like, this would be a great person to have by your side when you're signing an important contract, because they're going to quickly scan the document and see, okay, be careful because here, this is a bad deal. We need to reword this aspect, you know. Over here, this is not legal. What are you doing? This doesn't follow conventions, you know. This sum of money is spelled incorrectly. So a lot of like, this person is going to be a little bit like your guardian angel, you know. They're going to allow you to do your thing. They're going to respect your free will. But from time to time, they'll come and tell you, watch out for this, okay? You know, or did you pay attention to this? Or have you done your research? Are you sure you know what you're getting yourself into? So they are going to be helping you not be scammed or taken advantage of by other people. They're not going to do it in a way in which they're going to protect you physically from the world. It's like, I'll go and beat somebody up for you. They're going to do it by using intelligence, yeah. So giving you advice or letting you know the appropriate information. We have here Justice. We have Libra energy, number 11. We see truth and clarity. This person is going to find it very hard to lie, mostly to yourself. But I also feel that in general, this person is quite truthful, and they may have had to suffer some losses in their life because they said the truth at a moment in which it was perceived inappropriately, yeah? They may have confronted their relatives about certain things that they observed were going on, and maybe this led to the family disowning this person. They may have gotten fired at work because they figured out that their boss was not following regulations, and they confronted their boss with that and they got fired. Obviously, it's not fair, but this person is quite honest and quite wants to follow procedure, wants to follow the written rule of law. Yeah, you may actually get into a connection with a lawyer, a prosecutor, a judge in training, somebody who's very focused on proper conduct, structure, norms, rules and regulations that are not meant to block you or being enforced upon you. It's like, now you have to follow rules, you know? No, this is about respecting another person's freedom by paying attention to rules and boundaries. Helps everybody live a more free life, yeah? It helps you get the things you want without being cheated or taken advantage of, or, you know, yeah, just basically being trashed by other people. So this is why this individual is so passionate about this aspect, because they want to live a proper good life. They want to be free to do what it is that they want to do, but also they're aware that they live in a society and they don't want to trespass or bother other people or end up arguing with other people. Okay, let's see. We have here the 10 of acorns. Whoa. So we have responsibility and dedication, and we have the mule. So this person could be quite stubborn. We have here the crow as well. This person really likes to organize things and clean up messes. You know, people come to them with very messy situations and they're like, okay, so this is how we're going to organize it and clean it up and arrange it and package it, and ta-da! The situation is now filled with truth and order and honesty, you know. I definitely feel that this is an individual that spends a lot of time reading, writing, thinking. They really have no issue like buckling down and reading a 400 pages document that gets you the required information to achieve a really important step. This person is quite pragmatic, you know. They understand that in order to achieve big things, you have to start small, right? You have to pay attention to the fine print. Details are important, they matter. And they do matter when you're getting a certificate or a degree. You know, you have to pay attention to the correct answers. When you are signing a contract to purchase a home or to open a business, you have to make sure that you're getting the best deal, that people are not taking advantage of you. In the situation in which somebody accuses you of something that you have not done, you have to be careful how you speak and how you choose the way in which you defend yourself so that people can be on your side, especially if you haven't done anything wrong. And this person is aware of all of these things. They know how to micromanage the public's opinion. I definitely feel that you could be dealing here with a person who deals with jury, with social media, the public approval on social media. They could be like a social media manager or a person that does PR for powerful people or just wealthy people. Yeah, definitely a whiz kid. I feel that no matter what this person's age, and I do feel that they will be a little bit older than you by a year or two at least, this person has a very youthful kind of vibe, a very youthful appearance. They could have an ascendant in an air sign like Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. So they come across as very elegant, stylish, polished, forward-thinking, future-minded, you know, technological savvy. But I feel that when they are in intimacy and privacy, they can be quite passionate and quite deep, quite intimate. So they come across in a way as quite superficial, but in reality, they are quite focused on what really matters in life. Yeah. And they love this idea of partnership. They may not be a person that wants to have a big family with you. I guess maximum you would have one child with this person. Because I think to them, your relationship, the fact that you are partners, the fact that you are soulmates, you know, that's the most important thing. The fact that you have a child, that's okay. You know, it's the fruit of your love, but it's not really something that defines them. They don't live for the idea of family. They live for the idea of, I'm an individual that has found their soulmate. And they are aware that once the baby is grown into an adult and leaves the family home, they still have you. So that's the core relationship that they want to focus on. And they love this idea of having a good friend, a partner, somebody who has their back, you know, somebody that they can trust. Because I think that this person has a problem trusting other people, you know. At the beginning of your relationship, you may see that this person is slightly testing you a little bit to see if you are a loyal, dependable, trustworthy person. Yeah, so don't be put off by this person kind of like pressing your buttons at the beginning of the relationship. They may do it in a way in which it's quite funny. You know, there could be like these weird, funny moments when you guys decide to meet in a certain place and then there's a change of plans and this person is like, okay, but are you still going to meet me at this place, you know, and you have to prove your dependability. But I don't think that will be something difficult for you because I think you're a naturally dependable person, and that's why this person is just going to fall head over heels in love with you, because they will realize that they don't even need to test you. This is who you really are, and you're going to pass these tests like with flying colors, you know. You may not even be aware you're tested until this person tells you, yeah, you know, I was kind of throwing in some obstacles there, trying to see how you would react, but it seems like you're okay. And you're like, really? You are testing me? Ah, come on. So I think that you're going to have very honest, open conversations that will most of the time end in hilarious fits of laughter. This person is very open on shifting the energy from something negative into something positive. Now, let me show you the oracle cards. Yeah, we have emotion, cucumber, Cancer. And we also have, oh, Venus, the beloved. Oh, this is so sweet. Okay. And we also have experience. Look at this. Ah, I love this. I love this because this tells me that you guys know each other from a past life. And you may have been in this relationship of mentor and disciple, teacher and student, maybe even parents and children. Maybe in a past lifetime, you had a different type of love with this person. And in this reality, you incarnated as members of the same soul family to experience romantic love, right? In a past lifetime, you may have been relatives, right? But I definitely see that this person has a beautiful mix of water and air energy in their chart. So definitely this could be a person that is a sun in Scorpio, but a Gemini ascendant, or a sun in Cancer, an Aquarius ascendant. Yeah, they could also have like a fiery moon. I feel like they're quite balanced energetically. This is a very beautiful person. So physically, this person, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, that person looks very cute. They're adorable. There is just something beautiful about this individual. I guess I don't need to tell you what the cucumber represents in this context, okay? I don't want to get demonetized, but definitely you can see here an indication that if you have any fears related to this person's physical parts, you shouldn't worry, yeah? From that point of view, it's all good, yeah? But it's interesting because here in the Green Witch Oracle, in spite of what you see here, the cucumber, this is the card of emotion. So this is an indication that this person may have arousal issues if they do not feel emotionally connected to you. So this person needs to feel loved and needs to be close to you in order to make love to you. And if you guys are going through a rough patch in which you could be arguing or you could be sad, this person may not be able to complete, they may not be able to even begin or initiate intimacy. And I think this is really beautiful because it will keep you guys both in check. Like, it's important to work on your heart energy before you get down to, a tumble in the hay or freaky stuff in between the bed sheets. So this is about constantly checking in with your feelings, constantly checking in with your emotions, making sure you're both feeling loved and nurtured and feel safe in this connection. I definitely feel that you will create a beautiful home life with this individual, no matter what type of arrangement you will have, because I feel that you're my group in which you will have some sort of weird, non-traditional arrangement. Like, for example, you are together, you're life partners, you're soulmates, but you live in separate homes, or you have separate incomes, or I don't know, there could be this vibe where there is just something weird and unique about the way you choose to express your love. You could have a long distance partnership because one of you loves to live in one country and the other one loves another type of country. And instead of imposing that one of you comes and lives in the country that the other one doesn't really appreciate, you just give each other this freedom. There is just an orthodox arrangement, right? That's what I see. Or it could be that one of you comes from a relationship, a prior relationship, and they have a child already, and it's like you couple up and the other person adopts the child, and you have like a blended family style. Yeah, there's something here that is not traditionally what you would see, and that's what makes you guys so cool and so interesting and so unique. Although, yeah, blended families are becoming increasingly more common, but I don't know, I'm just getting the energy of a really interesting romantic arrangement. Like, you guys are going to be a bit trendsetters, like path openers. like when Gwyneth Paltrow rebranded separation or divorce as unconscious coupling. It's like you guys are gonna do something similar like that. Maybe it's the way, it's not necessarily the way in which you live out your love, but it's the way you think about it and you speak about each other, you know? It's going to really inspire other people. It's going to give them life, and it's going to help open up the minds of those around you. Yeah. I see here strong Libra energy, Libra and Cancer. So you may be dealing with somebody who's a sun in Libra, ascendant in Cancer, or flip them, you know, vice versa. An individual that has a lot of life experience, yeah, feels youthful, and is going to bring a breath of fresh air into your romantic landscape. So get ready for this, because I see here with preparation, yeah, you need to get ready for this lover mentally, emotionally. You may practice yoga in order to be on the same level as this individual, because yoga, you know, basically means union. So if you want to come into union with your future partner, your romantic partner, then practice yoga every day. Bring yourself to a state where the masculine and the feminine inside of you are making love, you know. Bring yourself to a state where you're okay with both your active side and your loving side. That's how you create union inside of yourself, and that's how it manifests outside of you in the shape of a person that loves you. Yeah. So I hope this helps you manifest. Thank you so much for listening. This has been a really life-giving reading. I'm so happy that I see such positive things in these readings. So comment down below, let me know your experience. If you want a personal reading, I have links in the description box and in the comment section. And until next time, take care and happy manifesting. Ciao. Hey group 4, welcome to a pick a card reading on the topic of your future spouse, your life partner. So this is a reading for those of you who are drawn to King John. Number 17 could be significant. This person may be born on the 17th of the month. You may meet this person 17 weeks from watching this pick a card reading as well, or on the 17th day of the month. Now, I am here to give you a very clear message right off the bat. If you were drawn to bad boy King John, you're dealing here with a person that is incredibly wealthy. Okay, so you're going to marry well. You're going to marry rich, way above the social class in which you find yourself at the moment. Okay, this person doesn't have to have the wealth of Elon Musk, for example, but they are well off. Okay, you will not do without in terms of being able to have food and shelter and pay your bills. This person will provide. Now, the only problem is that King John in the Robin Hood lore has a bit of a bad boy reputation, right? He was plotting, scheming, he was revengeful, he was greedy. So you're dealing here with an individual that could be a bit high maintenance, yeah? An individual that could occasionally irritate you with their, how should I say, with their beliefs or the way in which they gathered their wealth, right? You may not agree with everything that this person thinks or says, but they will help you. This individual will help you feel stable, feel safe, feel protected. And I think that for those of you who are drawn to this pile, that's a core need. And that need is more important than finding out whether your partner is earning money by being incredibly eco-conscious or kind or humanitarian. The methods through which this person has acquired wealth don't have to be really dodgy, so please don't go to extremes. This person is not engaged in slave labor. But for example, he could be part of, and I'm saying he because we have a man, but he could be like most famous people that have that have become rich in the last years, like, you know who I'm talking about, the CEO of Meta, the CEO of Amazon, you know, the founder of Amazon, so on and so forth. They could get rich by not being completely filled with integrity or having strong moral values, yeah, if you know what I mean. Like cutting back corners, firing people, not paying people full wages, you know, things like that. But at the same time, I do see here that this person indeed will be very stylish, well connected, will have a bit of everything. There is a darkness to them, and I don't know why, but it could be that you're working out through some issues by attracting this future partner. Maybe you also kind of have this darkness inside of you. You know, sometimes we attract what we are. And that's, you know, because doing these kind of readings and doing the kind of work I do, it's an exercise in constantly trying to understand human nature and trying to move beyond good or right, good or bad, right or wrong. And I can understand why certain people can be drawn to these kind of individuals. You know, it's definitely not my type, but for example, I do like physical comfort. I do like to know that my bills will be paid. I do enjoy the feeling of psychological safety that money brings you. Yeah, so I can understand this, and I'm not judging anybody who wants to just sign up for a relationship that is kind of like a power couple, in which you are dealing with a man who, let's just say, may not have the best, strongest values or code of moral ethics, but is an individual that gives results, you know, gives you pragmatic results. You know, if you need anything, come and get it. So let's see. I hope I expressed myself correctly. I'm kind of struggling at the moment with Mercury in Pisces, even though Mercury is direct. I don't know if I'm expressing myself as clearly as I could be. Yeah, we have the Justice card, number 11, and we have the 3 of Feathers. This is the Moth, and we have release and recovery. We also have here the King of Crystals, courage and commitment. Yeah, definitely. So, okay, I feel like you'll be meeting your future partner when you're going through something in your life. Financial problems could be a big thing, and you could already be manifesting it, thinking about, oh, I just want a partner that can take care of my physical needs. I don't care about anything else, you know. I just want somebody that can help me pay the bills and put me to bed with a really nice orgasm or something like that, you know. And that's completely understandable, right? In this modern day and age of chaos and confusion, you want something solid that you can bank on. I definitely feel like you're dealing here with a person that, first of all, will very intensely court you. There's just something about you that turns this person on beyond belief, like a moth to a flame. So it will be incredibly flattering to have this rich person going gaga over you, you know? And I also think it's something related to you, like you've been taking really good care of yourself, even though you may have to live within limited financial and material means. You have always prioritized self-care and taking really good care of yourself and living a decent, good life with whatever you have. And this person appreciates that. They see that you are a hustler. They see that you are not giving up, that you have this thrive mentality. And they love that. Yeah, it reminds them of a younger version of themselves. Yeah, so you make them feel young and exciting again. This person could be significantly older than you by a wide margin. So they may be 5 to 6 to 7, in some cases even 17 years older than you. Okay, so I'm here to let you know. This relationship does have a little bit of a sugar daddy, sugar baby kind of vibe. I'm not going to lie. You guys know I'm keeping things honest and real as I see them in the cards. But the thing is that it's not going to be just sugar daddy, sugar baby. It's going to end up in a commitment, like a marriage or some sort of cohabitation agreement. You will get the social status as well that comes with being in a relationship with this person. This person is not going to keep you like a second option or a dirty secret, you know. Like I keep seeing them in my mind as I'm trying to do your reading, but it's kind of like the relationship that Jeff Bezos has with Lauren Sanchez, you know. Lauren has been, you know, hustling her whole life and being like really strong and kind of like really working at changing her exterior as well. And she finally met him at a later point in her life, and he's, from what I've understood, slightly older than she is. And yeah, they just fit and they're getting married this year, you know. So kind of like that kind of a vibe. The King of Crystals here is a strong indication of Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, most likely Taurus and Capricorn rather than Virgo. I feel like you will also meet this person at the end of another relationship, like you're just coming out of a divorce or a separation or the ending of a long-term relationship. You're feeling yourself, you're glowing up, you're getting that revenge body, or there's just something that you're doing that will intensely draw the attention of this man, this powerful, rich man who wants you, yeah? And that's how the relationship is going to start. Like, you need stability, this person wants you, you love the effect that you have on this individual, and even though there could be some triggers there or some red flags related to how this person is earning their wealth, I think that for once you're going to prioritize yourself rather than what other people think. So it's like, I don't care, you know, I want to be with this person. This person makes me feel safe. They make me feel loved. I have just come out of a brutal divorce or of a really toxic relationship. I want my life to be easy. You know, I don't care how my future partner earns a living, as long as he keeps showing up for me, as long as, you know, we are materially okay. I'm just going to put all of these idealistic values to sleep. Yeah. And that's going to be a real growth moment for you, because you may have to let go of certain teenage ideals. So certain values that you were brought up with, that you felt like you always needed to respect. And you're like, you know what? I'm just going to go for what I want. I don't really care anymore. You know, I don't care if people would judge me. I don't care what people say. I'm just going to love this man. This opportunity is amazing. And yeah, I'm just going to see how the relationship develops. And that's, in a way, it's a very mature and healthy mindset. What I am worried about is that there will be some tensions in this relationship caused by the fact that this person will be criticized by society, by people, by groups, you know. So you're going to have to be very strong, because as a counterpart to this individual, there will be people trying to attack you to get to him. So you're going to have to be inwardly calm and keep your emotions in check and understand what you signed up for in this connection, rather than create fairy tales in your mind thinking that no, but he's actually a really honest and ethical person, when in reality, you know that he may be cutting back on certain things. Yeah. So just being honest, being open, knowing what you signed up for, it's a step in maturity. It's a proof of your continuous growth as a human being. And as part of the process of growth, we reach these moments when it's not all just like, I attract good things, everything is amazing. We also reach these moments in life when we have to do the hard work of culling back, you know, like cutting things out. It's like, I've created these things, but they are no longer working. And I have to make the difficult decision to kind of drop them, kind of let them go, kind of say, this relationship is over, this partnership has been closed, I'm no longer able to continue with this business, I'm no longer able to sustain this group, you know. And you have to be open and honest with yourself about uncomfortable truths. And this is exactly what you're doing. And this is why I respect your decision so much. It's a very grounded, mature decision, which will lead to a very mature relationship in which both of you are aware of each other's shadow. You're aware of this person's faults and qualities, and you're like, sure, I'm still going to sign up for this. And that's adulthood 3.0, yeah? You're just completely on board with this, because nobody's perfect, and you know that an opportunity like this may not come into your life so soon or at all. A lot of you are also kind of afraid of growing older and losing your attractiveness. So I definitely see that you're like, when daddy comes knocking, you know, you open up. So we also see here clarity, carrots, Virgo energy. Yeah, so stability. You're finally understanding what it is you want. It's like, this is the most important need I have. Your third eye becomes activated and you're like, I have been chasing romantic ideals, exciting, passionate relationships with artists and people that were not really financially stable, when in reality, what makes me really happy and centered is if I have a partner that can give me wealth and comfort, is if I have an individual that, you know, I don't need to worry about where my next meal is going to come from when I'm with him. I don't need to support him and me. I can just be myself and allow him to do his thing. I don't care about what his thing is, as long as we live comfortably, you know? So that's kind of the vibe. I'm laughing because I'm just reminding myself right now of kind of Breaking Bad characters, you know, or a mobster wife typology. You know, mobster wife typology became super popular in 2024. So yeah, kind of that vibe. Again, no judgment, no blaming. I hope I'm not triggering some of you, although I know that some of you will react really strongly in the comment section below, but this is what I see. This is the card that dropped to the table when I shuffled. I'm reading the cards as I see them. Reality is reality, okay, guys? These readings are meant to inspire you and give you positive, empowering messages, but also we are grounding them in the reality of love in 2025. Yeah, maybe things will change in the future. We'll see. Now I see transits and climate. Speaking about change. Oh, spirit is making me like eat up my words, you know. And we have here perception, yeah, in a very evocative image that could potentially resemble a female part, yeah. But it's actually just the aura of a female body in a symbolic form. So perception and transit. It's very strange because I feel like in this relationship with your future partner, your impression of your partner is going to change like clouds on a sky. It's like your relationship will be very weathered, you know? I don't know if it's because you are quite a moody individual or they will be quite moody. Let me pull one more card and see if it's you or they. Okay, so I can give you some clarity. Definitely getting the moon. I see here number 55, the grandmaster number of change and chaos that leads you where you need to go. Page of shells, intuition and inspiration. They will be quite moody. Yeah, you're dealing here with a partner who's going to be quite moody. I'm seeing this as the Prince Frog. Yeah. The frog is such a beautiful animal spirit because frogs can live in two environments at the same time. They can, you know, be underwater, but they also thrive on land. So I see here adaptability. You are going to have to be very flexible, adaptable in this connection. That's why I feel like it's not good for you to have these like stubborn ideas or strong values that you're building your romantic life upon. No, this is about a game of smoke and mirrors. This is about, first of all, you coming across to this person as this beautiful mirage, mermaid-like, cinematic beauty. Yeah. Like this person will feel that you are a different type of person according to how you dress. You could be this kind of chameleon as well. Maybe you have a Pisces ascendant or you have Neptune transiting over your ascendant at the moment, or you were born with Neptune conjunct the ascendant. So you have this enchantress vibe about you. It's like you dress in different colors or you style your hair differently according to your mood. And it makes it come across as if you are different people, right? One moment you can be like dressed like a dominatrix, the next moment you could be the girl next door, the next moment you're dressed like in military khaki pants, or the next moment according to your mood you may be dressed like a cheeky librarian, you know. So this person loves that. Your future partner will be like, oh my God, like the perfect person. I get to be not just with you, but like with a multitude of you. It's like you're different people and you express this not through what you speak and think. I feel that you're very dependable in terms of what you speak and think. You're very consistent, but it's how you dress. It's very creative. It's very imaginative. It's very much like being different types of individuals, you know, like being an actor or an actress, like being a performer each day with how you style yourself. And this person loves that, and they want to encourage this natural expression in you. They want you to not stress out over how you make money. They want you to just do you and be like a role model, like the spokesperson for this relationship. This person knows that when they couple up with you, they're not only coupling up, it's like I found a wife or I found a spouse. I found my PR model. Yeah, because by associating themselves with you, although you may be lower in income than they are, they know that by associating themselves with you, people are going to see them in a better light. Yeah, so this person is going to try to improve their reputation by having you as this stylish, creative, compassionate, calm beauty, you know. I'm kind of thinking right now of another coupling, Salma Hayek and her husband. He's also a billionaire. I forgot his name right now, but I think it's Pero. Anyway, he's a billionaire. He seems like a very down-to-earth kind of guy. He doesn't really show up in many appearances side by side with her, but you can definitely feel that they have a good relationship, that it's healthy to a certain extent. Although I don't know if it will continue like that, judging by the transits that Salma is going to be having in the next years. But you definitely feel that they have a really good partnership, a very mature partnership, in which he clearly is providing her with a lot of financial support, and she is like the heart and the stylish element in the relationship, right? She is the one that has more exposure to the public, more popularity, right? So I think that this is exactly what's going to happen in your case. So there could be a little bit of an age gap. This person is clearly wealthy, probably much wealthier than you imagine at the moment. And I think this helps you in achieving a sense of psychological safety that allows you to express yourself. It allows you to be fully in your feminine element. It's like you don't have to chase anymore. You don't have to hustle. You don't have to stress out. You can just be this grounding, gorgeous, loving energy that not only he wants you to be, but the public would like you to be. Yeah. So this relationship comes with a certain degree of public responsibility. I definitely feel that all your needs will be met. I feel like you're dealing here with a person that will also appreciate how you manage to calm them down, you know, because this person is very like high powered, right? And they love to come back at the end of the day to your calming energy, you know. So I think the hard work in this connection will be maintaining your poise, your balance, your calm and your composure. And for doing this, you will be rewarded greatly with a lot of material wealth and financial stability, and a husband that wants to come back to you and stays firmly anchored in this relationship in spite of the fact that they could be with anybody. Yeah, because I feel like this person is like, they see you as very unique and uniquely theirs in some way. So yeah, okay, interesting, a fascinating connection. I hope that you've enjoyed this reading. I hope it doesn't trigger some of you. I definitely feel like you're dealing here with a very bold individual, very ballsy, very a risk taker, but like a calculated risk taker. Yeah. I hope that you will enjoy this connection. I do feel that for most of you, if you're honest, this is what you're trying to manifest. I know it's been a bit controversial, but yeah, you see, times are changing. Your perception of love is also changing with these transits. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you kindly for your open-mindedness. Thank you for being part of my spiritual social crew. If you want a more specific reading, because this is a general one, then I'm here to help you. I can provide you with a personal reading. Link to my website is in the description box below and in the comment section. So have a look, okay? And until next time, take great care of yourself and see you then.